Howdy partners, my name is Tag. This world of New Duns has already been through one major update, which was the Nether update, which thankfully didn't really change our overworld too much, considering the fact that, it's the overworld and the Nether update only updated the Nether. But now we are facing the newest update in the Minecraft update list, which is 1.17 Part 1, the Caves and Cliffs update. Although unfortunately this update includes neither caves nor cliffs, despite being called the Caves and Cliffs update. Despite the fact that they might have bitten off more than they could chew, and may have called the update something that doesn't work very well with what it actually is, we still got some pretty cool features, which is why I'm making this episode right now today, which is literally just going to be me kind of frolicking around the world, checking out some new stuff, and just having a good time all around. Now before we head out to some new terrain, because if you don't know, obviously none of the new stuff will spawn in the terrain that I've already loaded in, and I've basically loaded in every single chunk within like a 5,000 block radius of my base, so we're gonna have to travel out a little bit farther. Here in my main base area, I have already added some of the new items around the world, so I'm gonna kind of just show you through on all of the new stuff that I've added with all this cool stuff. But actually, before I do that, let's just go over everything that's been added. We got axolotls, we got goats, we got copper, a brand new ore, you can now fortune, iron, and gold, and we got amethysts. And supposedly we also have lush, but I'm not entirely sure if it's actually possible to get any of the lush items in survival yet. It might just be a creative thing, so that's a bit of a bummer. So yeah, that is all the new stuff that has been added. I couldn't really help myself, and I already kind of went around and I grabbed some copper and a bit of amethyst, but I'm still going to go and experience a lot of it with you guys just for fun, because, that's what Minecraft is for. As I mentioned earlier, I have kind of frolicked around the world and added in some of the new items everywhere. One of the biggest ones being right here in the castle courtyard, which is, as I'm calling, the Copper Guardian, which is made out of copper, as you can see, and it's just kind of a dude holding a staff with an amethyst and a lightning rod on top of it. So this copper is really, really cool because it'll slowly oxidize. So after a lot of time has gone past, it'll slowly turn more of a green color, similar to, what the Statue of Liberty did in real life. Speaking of lightning rods, I have added lightning rods in all major spots around the castle, which, by the way, these lightning rods are incredibly useful because, my castle roof is made out of netherrack, so when a lightning strike strikes the top of my castle, it catches on fire, and it never goes out. So I have to run around every once in a while and put out all these random flames on top of my castle, and these will prevent that, although hopefully it won't catch the flags on fire. Didn't really think that through. That's dumb. And the last and final thing that I think has been added that is worthwhile at least, is this thing right here, which is a spyglass, or as I like to call it, the poor man's Optifine. Now, basically, on Java Edition there's Optifine, which means that you can kind of just zoom in without having to have an item. It's just kind of built in, but that's only, if you install Optifine. And so they, gave us the liberty of actually being able to zoom in on Bedrock, despite the fact that you have to, have a thing in your hand, and also it adds a whole, UI around it. It's an interesting thing. I definitely have been using it more than I would like to admit, but, it's the poor man's Optifine, so kind of crappy. Alright, so now that I have all of my stuff together, let's head out to some unloaded chunks and experience some new features together. I have a portal out here that's about 8,000 blocks out that I'm using as kind of the portal to 1.17. My plan is I'm going to add in a nice looking bridge to this area, and I'm going to call it the Bridge to the New World because that sounds kind of cool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 1.17 Part 1. And let me tell you, it's a little underwhelming. Unfortunately, basically the only way of getting some of the new stuff is coming out here to an ocean, because that is basically the only place where you can find most of this stuff without having to put in a incredibly large amount of work. The various things you will find out here in the ocean are axolotls, underwater caves which have lots of copper, and amethyst geodes, which hopefully we will be able to find a bit of all of those things. Oh yeah, and I also forgot that glow squids exist, but who really cares? Because they suck, and no one likes them, and if you voted for the glow squid, then you have poor taste. So, oh yeah, also, glow lichen. And it looks like I found something interesting. Never mind, that axolotl just died. Ooh, here we go. This is something interesting. A brown axolotl. And then another thing right here is that you can now find ore blocks inside of this new deep slate. Oh yeah, and here's a lot of copper. Ooh, there's something interesting again. Glow squid. Here's another new block, which is tough. Look at that, look at that, look at... I think I actually might have already been here. There he is. Hey, bud. You want to come with me? Oh. Alright, sorry. The clip that I just recorded, I just realized had horrible audio because it was going through my, internal audio, so my mic wasn't hooked up. So, the audio is horrible. So, basically, what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to make a stone bridge archway kind of thing that's going to look like an aqueduct, sort of, that is going to pierce its way through the nether all the way from my own nether base to the 1.17 portal. It's going to be an ice road, which means that I can go super fast from my own area to the 1.17 area. That is my plan, and now I'm going to start building that. I'm only going to go to one of my portals that I already have, though, so I'm only going to go maybe 300 blocks first, and then we will continue from there. Alrighty, this project has been going really, really well. So, if we come on over here, you can see the really, really cool looking pillars. I absolutely love how this, style looks. The kind of Roman aqueduct kind of look. It just looks really, really cool. I just said look 3 times. It's a really, really, really nice build. I'm a big fan. And we've gone all the way from the exit to the nether, all the way down through a tunnel, and then to a portal, which will eventually be moved to the side, where I'll have a little station over here, and then it will continue along, which is kind of something that I've already been working on. So I have a little lava, little tunnel things that I can go under the lava, which took me a while to build, I will admit, and it's eventually going to go all the way over here, although I haven't gotten any of the ice in. I'm planning on doing that last, and then it'll go through another tunnel. So I'm going to continue going until I probably reach around X level 1000. Welp, after 6 full uses, drill bit, one of my pickaxes that I've used for quite a long time, is now officially too expensive, so it's time to put it on up on the wall. Man, I've already filled up, this is, man, how much is this? I don't know why I can't figure this out. This is 11 pickaxes, so I have already retired 24 tools in 13 months. That's pretty good. Now it's time to make it 25. So I gotta put drill bit up there, and then put the date of today, which is June something. I'm not keeping track of the date. The 17th. And then I gotta add. What else do I add? Oh, the year. I keep on forgetting. I haven't done this in a while. 2021. There we go. Alright, drill bit is done. I also made a new pickaxe, Pickaxe X, because it is my first pickaxe that I've ever made on the Xbox Series X. So I just used one of my extra efficiency books because I got Unbreaking 3 and Silk Touch, so I added efficiency 5. So let's get back to what I was already doing. 5 shulker boxes of stone bricks later, my extremely unnecessary ice road is complete. Or at least, actually, it's not complete at all. But it goes out about 1,000 blocks that direction, which is a pretty good start, considering I only currently want to go out 1,500 blocks. So I'm only 400 blocks away from finishing it. And what I mean by unnecessary, the ice road isn't unnecessary, but the decoration for it is. I went for the pillar design. It is one of my favorite designs in the game. It's so simple, but there's something really great about adding gravity and adding realism to your builds. It doesn't even have to look good. I mean, I use stone bricks. I could have made this look much more pretty, but there's just something so satisfying about it, the way it kind of pierces through the nether. So the ice road starts here. You go down this lovely stretch of 1.15 chunks and then into here. 1.16 tunnel. That's the Mesa biome portal, which you've never seen before. Lava tunnel, another tunnel coming up, tunnel, and then open area, and then tunnel, and then you get into a warped forest right here, and then that's a little stop right here where I have where it has some extra boats and some other random stuff just in case you get stuck. Another pretty long tunnel. In fact, I actually ran out of stone brick here, so I didn't use any. And then you kind of get to the end here, where it gets back into stone brick, and then you are almost complete, and you get to... Oh my god! So yeah, I got a pretty good amount on the ice road done. But yeah, over there, 400 blocks that way is my portal to 1.17 chunks, which will eventually be the portal that I use to go and get all the new stuff like copper and axolotls and glow lichen and, you know, all the new stuff. So it's the road to the new world, but I am actually going to be calling it Treachery Pass, because the ninth circle of hell is treachery, and I thought that's kind of cool. So yeah. So now that we have a good portion of the ice road finished, I'm going to head on over to the squid farm. But before I do that, I want to show you something. It's an idea that I got from Dallas Med. So I actually have gotten a lot of ideas from Dallas Med, including putting my retired tools in item frames instead of breaking them, and also this, the toolbox. Basically, the toolbox is a thing in the game where you carry around all those obscure items that you really don't have on you because they clog up your inventory, but are useful nonetheless, such as Mjolnir, which is my channeling trident so that I can get heads whenever I need to. Both of my netherite hose, one not having silk touch and one having silk touch. You know, a fishing rod, shears, a compass, a clock, flint and steel. That's a big one. I need that one actually more than you'd think. Totem of Undying, my journal, just so I don't have to clog up my inventory with it, because I don't actually use my journal all that much, but it's good to have on you just in case for coordinates and also for brewing recipes. A water bucket, an ender chest, which is a big one because in my ender chest I have that, so you never know when I might need all of that stuff. A boat, just in case I want to go whitewater rafting, some TNT, just in case I'm, you know, feeling a little reckless that day, a bowl, name tag, lead, fire resistance potion, which really won't be that necessary, but, you know, you never really know, an empty map, just in case I have a cool place I want to keep, and 2 pieces of armor, leather boots, which will, you know, they're not useful now, but in the future, when they add the powdered snow, I'm going to need to use that just in case, so that I don't sink through and die, and then my shell mitt, which I will be using for water export. And this guy will be right up here in my inventory next to my telescope, my firework box, and my torches. Also, the reason that I have my spyglass there is that when you open up your inventory, your cursor automatically goes there, so it's very easy to just go boom, and then, you know, you can easily get your spyglass and then you just press on it and it goes all back. So yeah, now that we have all of that sorted out and you are caught up to date, let's head on over to the squid farm. So a lot of you probably don't know this because I don't think I've talked about it too much, but my squid farm, which is a giant stone brick monstrosity sitting above the main ocean that is nearby, it's very, very ugly, and I think it'd be very, very cool if I did something special to it. Now, what I like to do in this game is I like to build extremely overpowered farms, right? And sometimes I feel very, very bad about making such a very overpowered farm. So you know what I do? So it doesn't feel like I've cheated the system. I decided to spend vast amounts of resources doing something completely unnecessary to make it look pretty. With the raid farm, I built a giant stone brick thing around it. With the pigment farm, I built it in my base, so it was even more difficult. And with the creeper farm, well, actually, I didn't do anything with that because that took a lot of resources. But the squid farm up there was not very resource intensive, and it's also very, very ugly. So I have decided that I'm going to be building a giant wool blimp around it. And then I'm going to have a little collection system in the little, like, blimp, I guess it's like the basket at the bottom. It's not a basket, but it's like the little carriage area with, like, the area where, like, people would be. So the plan is I am going to use vast amounts of blue wool to surround this entire thing, and then put a lovely collection system right here at the bottom, which will also be a little restaurant. If you can imagine the Hindenburg, I am going to build basically a blue Hindenburg, and also hopefully it won't burn to the ground. So I am going to do a quick little bit of block placing just so I can get some more progress done, because as you can see, I've actually started on it, so I'm going to try to get at least this entire ring right here circled around. So I'd say that I am about a quarter of the way done with the blimp. Basically what I'm doing is on the inside of the blimp, I'm going to use torches, and on the very top of it, I'm going to use carpet, but obviously both of these are to prevent stuff spawning. So I have to place blue carpet on the top of everything, and yeah, I'm just getting the last of hopefully all I will need to finish that part off. Also, most of the shears in this farm are broken, so I need to repair those, but I have a solution for that, but I'll tell you that in a sec. This is your first glimpse of the blimp, and it looks really cool, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a humongous... Right now, it looks like a sphere almost, but, you know, it doesn't actually turn into a sphere. I'm working really hard on it, and I'm almost done. So like I said, to prevent mobs from spawning on top, instead of having torches, I'm putting carpet on top, which is a little resource intensive, but in the long haul, it doesn't change that much. And the inside looks really, really cool. It's basically just torches, like this. So, no mobs are going to be spawning in here, apart from the mobs that I want to be spawning in here. And the mobs I want to be spawning in here are squid and fish. See, I basically have all of the carpet in this area up to, like, where was it? It was right here. No, this is my only carpet layer. So I have 3 more layers I need to complete. I probably, actually, now that I think about it, won't have enough carpet to finish this, which is kind of annoying, but, you know, c'est la vie. So eventually, on the side of the blimp, once all the blue part is finished, I'm going to put a little, like, white part that's, like, cut into the blimp, and then black wool on top of that, and the black wool is going to say ink, ink, and the first ink is going to be spelt with I-N-K, and then the second one is I-N-C, and then a period. So, you know, it's like Ink Incorporated. I thought that's kind of funny. It's a clever little name. But yeah, that's it. That is today's episode, and by today's episode, I mean this week's episode, because I've literally been working on this episode for a week. If you want to become a person on the board of cool people, all you have to do is comment, and your name will be forever, I don't know, like, immortalized in my world, and I'll put it on a sign, and you'll be there. So comment, please. I really, really like your comments. They're very cool, and they're very epic, and they're very neat. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Tag, and I will see you in the next episode in, hopefully, around 3 days. If it isn't, I don't know, drop kick me out of a freaking moving car.